So it's quarter 4 and I'm doing a progress update, and it goes for October, November, and December. So I set the goal of specific numbers for specific exercises, and I want to see myself complete that over the 3 months. That's October, November, and December. But in the middle of the quarter, I do this video as a progress update, check in on how I'm doing on these goals. The first goal was running, and second goal was for legs. The third goal is to grow my calves to a certain size. And the fourth goal is to do core every single day and to work on building a routine for the core. So what I had started off doing was stamina goals. So I would complete reps, a certain amount of reps for each of the exercises. And for this quarter, I have a number for running, how many miles I'm supposed to do for the whole quarter, and that is 85 miles. I also have a number for legs. I'm supposed to do, for this month, it's 1,300, so, or 1,400. I've got a number by month that I do for legs, but I have a total over the quarter that I'm trying to hit. And so what I do is I say, okay, how far along in the quarter am I? And so by calculating how many days are in October, November, December, I can then calculate how many days we are through that. And so we're 63% through the quarter. We have 55% of my running goal achieved. So it means I'm a little behind because we're 63% in the quarter, and I've only hit 55% of the run goal for the quarter. So I'm going to talk about some challenges there. But with the legs, we're at 65%. So we're a little bit ahead. So we're keeping on track. And I like that we're on the ahead side of that line. So 63% of the way through the quarter, but 65% of my reps done for legs that I'm supposed to do for the whole quarter. And with my calves, I reached the size that I wanted to reach by the end of the quarter, which is 15.5 inches. I want my calves to measure around 15.5 inches, and I reached it. So now my focus is to maintain it. I have to maintain the proper exercise on my calves in order to keep that size up. And then when it comes to core, I am 64% complete with reps. So that means I'm also on track for core, a little bit ahead. I like that I'm a little bit ahead rather than a little bit behind. But with core, the rep number is going to matter a little less as we go into the next quarter, because I want to be more focused on my sets, like the different exercises that I'm doing. So I'll have a set where I'm working the upper abs, and a set where I'm working the lower abs, and then a different set to work the obliques. And I want to come up with a routine to train different parts of the core, break it up into different sets, and the actual rep number matters a little less than the set number. So I'm gonna have to figure something out there for next quarter's goals. But for now, let's talk about some of the challenges I'm facing. And number one, I gotta start by talking about running, since running is the only one I'm behind with. And running was the first exercise I became super consistent with. Years ago, I started to track. I think it was like 2017 is when I really started consistently running, tracking how much I was running. And I had goals about how many times to run per week. Then I created goals about how many miles to run each month. And I've been running 28 miles a month consistently for over a year. Before that, I was running 25 miles a month for like 2 years before. So for like 3 years, I've been doing a certain number of miles, about 25, 28. And right now I'm falling a little bit behind, okay? And in the past, I used to have these long runs, but then I wouldn't run enough because I focused on doing other types of exercise. I ran less often. So I went from doing like 5 runs a week to 2 runs a week and they were long, but the challenge at that time was I run long twice a week, but since they weren't long enough, I was barely cutting it on distance. So I still want to do, I still want to have a diverse exercise plan. I mean, have different types of workouts. However, I do want to keep up my running. No matter what else I do with fitness, I always want to keep a certain stamina for running. And lately what's happening is I'm running 4 times a week for November, but I'm not running long enough, I guess, to give me the distance that I need. So the challenge is my distance. My frequency is good, and I'm running 4 times a week, but the challenge is I'm not getting enough distance when it all adds up to hit my goal. Therefore, I need to run a little more distance on each of the runs, or I need to measure out a day in which I run longer than usual, like a long one. So what I do want to do is have a mandatory long run each week, and what I'll consider a long run is a 3-mile run. So mandatory each week I have to run at least a 3-mile run, and then I'll have other runs. I still like to keep that 4 times a week running, but those ones can be short. They can be a mile and a half, or they can be less if it's just a warm-up for another intense exercise. So I would keep 4 times a week at my frequency, but I would make sure mandatory at least one of those runs is a 3-mile run minimum. So that's one of the challenge when it comes to running. Running is the goal I'm not caught up with. But another challenge is with core, because I don't have an exact routine. I know that in the mornings I often need to stretch, and I like to warm up the core. So there's things that I can do, but I'd like to see over a week or over a month what the routine would be. Something I know, like I want to be able to stretch all my body, all my muscles, have a routine for doing various stretches that's going to hit every muscle. Don't leave any muscle behind. So be all stretched out. But with my core, I know I'm going to plank a little bit every day, and do certain little exercises every day, but I want to choose, okay, maybe Wednesday of every week, or maybe like this week it'll be Monday and Thursday, and next week it'll be Tuesday and Friday. I don't know, but I want to figure out some type of pattern to target, to keep the frequency up when it comes to how I'm exercising my core, but to now start increasing intensity on these exercises. So what I'm speaking of is like on a Monday, Thursday, I increased intensity on lower abs. And then on like a Wednesday, Friday, I'm increasing intensity on obliques. And then like on a Sunday, I'm like doing plank. A plank test. I'm trying to plank for as long as I can. But I want to have some type of routine. So the challenge is keeping up the frequency is I mean, it's tiring to do core exercise every day. But in order to have a healthy balance of I'm doing it consistently and I'm doing very frequent, every single day I'm doing core. However, if I'm focused only on some days for intensity, I feel like I'm just going to perform better. So I'm not sure, I can't quite put this in words, as you can tell, but those are the 2 main challenges that I'm facing. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to sit down and for the rest of this quarter get clear, okay, what is that routine in the mornings for my core? And then I have to look at my planner and say, okay, we're the last week of November, but as we go into December, can I choose those days where I'm going to run my 3-mile run? Can I choose those days where I'm going to focus on this type of core workout, increase the intensity with that specific workout? So moving forward, I'm very clear on what it takes to finish off this quarter strong, and I know what it's going to take to go into next quarter and possibly make new goals. Looking ahead, I already know that I want to increase the size of my calves even further. So we'll see that on the goals. We'll see the running goal as trying to get stamina. So we just keep find a number of miles to run. And I want to focus on strength when it comes to the legs. So I'll start weightlifting more, and the number of reps will need to come down.
Taking time off the ground, making beats with the tap, put the city on the map. When I blow up, there's no coming back. I got on all black. I'm posted in the back. I know the definition of a fan. Gotta take more time with fam.